My name is Gilberto Ruedas. I am a member of the Denver South Hispanic Church. We have been attending the church for many years by the grace of God. And well, we serve the church and God. Well, Bible studies are important to me. The most important thing is that we share the Word of God to help others catch the good news. Our brother Carlos is also a member of the church, and I've mentioned to him several times he likes to be quite a missionary in the church. We usually go together, but one thing that really catches my attention is how he invites visitors who come to the church to his home for a chat and to spend time together. He creates a welcoming space for people. Brother Carlos met Patty while working as an Uber driver. And, well, they became friends there. They established a good relationship. The lady got excited, enjoyed the conversation they had at that moment, and decided that we should have a Bible study. So we made an appointment. One day, Monday afternoon, we went to look for her. But when we got to her house, to her apartment, this lady Patty, we knocked on the door, and she wasn't there, the lady wasn't there. Another lady opened the door, but she only opened it a little. She didn't open the whole door. So she told us that Patty wasn't there, and it crossed my mind. Well, maybe the lady said she wanted to study, but in the end, she changed her mind. That's what went through my head, but we called her, and she said, "No, I'll be there in about 10 or 15 minutes. Wait for me, I'm on my way." That day when we arrived, she said, "My apartment is quite busy, so if you like, we can chat here on the balcony." So that day we had a Bible study without a Bible, without a lesson, without the booklet we use. We talked about a bit of everything, but we had it on the balcony of her apartment. When we were on the balcony of her apartment, it caught my attention because we were talking about all sorts of different topics. But some guys walked by. It really caught my attention on the street in the parking lot. And she said, "Why don't we invite them to study?" She said we should invite them to study. But I was like, study with these people? We don't even know them. They just walked by. They were smoking. They were carrying some energy drinks. And I told her, look, if you know them, invite them next week. Next Monday, we'll come and study with them. We'll meet up. So she did that, but she said something very interesting. She said, I would like them to get to know Jesus. After some time of us talking about different topics, something came to her quick and she said, "I would like you to study with my daughter, but my daughter is in the city of Cuernavaca, Mexico." So we scheduled an appointment for the following Monday for a more formal study. We introduced her to the booklet, The Faith of Jesus. We told her, we can study this little book. It has specific topics to explore. So the following Monday, we went at 7 in the evening to study with them, but we were in for a surprise. Mrs. Patty was there along with 2 Colombian young men, already waiting for the study. But also her daughter, who was in Cuernavaca, was already connected and waiting for the Bible study. So we had the Bible study that day as well, and it was quite exciting. But this person, Patty, and Mrs. Patty's daughter, wanted someone to visit them personally at their home in Cuernavaca. So that day we started looking for a pastor in Cuernavaca to visit them, or some church member, a layperson, someone to visit them. And so we started looking, and it turns out we found a pastor, but the surprise for us was that the pastor was his neighbor about 5 minutes away from one house to the other. The pastor was very kind and willing to do the missionary work. He went and visited, we put them in contact, and they visited her and family. But an even bigger surprise was that the following Saturday after the visit, the pastor invited the girl to church, and she was already there. What impresses me a lot is that it's not a coincidence that we meet the person. It's that God already has things prepared and His servants in different parts of the world. I mean, it really is shocking how God uses people in different places. He is ready. I hope we are ready too. For me, the important part of missionary work is that the church is a living church. When one is doing missionary work, well, the church stays alive, it stays active. When we only come to church, listen, and leave, little by little we start dying. The church becomes monotonous and boring, but when we share the Word of God, we revive ourselves and also encourage others to get to know the Word of God. My name is Gilberto Ruedas. I attend the Denver South Hispanic Church here in Denver, Colorado.